So if you are tweeting or Instagramming or Facebooking, hashtag P5117, hashtag P5117. Thank you so much, Kevon. Kevon is an example of greatness, recent graduate of the University of Georgia. He's an intern with us here. Glad to have you, sir. Thank you. Hope Inside. If you want a cup of coffee, you know where you can go, right? This building that you're sitting in, I think it's a failed business model. Why? Because we have people driving 60 and 70 miles to come here to take their financial life back. 2 buses, a train, and another bus to pull up to this door to try to raise their credit scores, to try to look at home ownership, to try to start their business, and it shouldn't be that way. Just like you know how to get a cup of coffee on any corner, there should be an opportunity in each of our communities that we serve for people to take their financial life back. So Hope Inside represents that. And our first in Atlanta, sponsored by SunTrust. Thank you, SunTrust, again. Right across the street. And Dan, you can break me on the numbers, but I think you guys have already seen an uptick in the people walking through the doors. This is where we have a person full-time there to be the conduit in the community to help people go from a 480 to a 640, fundamentally changing their lives. Someone who had never thought about a banking relationship now can walk in not only to open an account with their head held high, full of what we call financial dignity. And so, Gail, are you in the room? No? Yes, no? Gail's out there probably doing the good work that she should be doing. But she has a representative from her Hope Inside location. Patricia Adams, did you make it? Now, Patricia, if I understand right, you had to come here on the bus, right?
Absolutely, a couple of buses and a train.
So this is exactly what I'm talking about, a couple of buses and a train. But let's give it up for Patricia, who is also exactly what I'm talking about. 2 buses and a train to just be here with you to talk about her story and operational.
I think we need to give these children an applause.
Yes.
I knew I was a part of something great, but after hearing those testimonials, it takes my appreciation for this program to a whole other level. And the reason I say that is I'm 53 years old, and I'm just getting this information. I didn't get it in school. I didn't get it from my parents. I didn't get it from my church. I had to come to Atlanta because I'm from California to an operation to get this information. So thank you. I thank you, all of you instructors. This is a phenomenal program. I am, a part of the 700 credit score community. And to be honest, it wasn't necessarily something that I really wanted to do, but I knew I had to. I had run myself into the ground and I had dug a hole for myself. And I didn't know how to get out. And so when I contacted Operation Hope and they began to tell me about some of the things that were going to take place, once again, for an undisciplined person, is not necessarily what we desire to do. However, I knew what I needed to do. And so there were 4 things that we focused on. Budgeting. That was the thought initially. Banking, debt elimination, and then financial education. But this 5-week course, 5 little weeks, made a difference in my life. In that 5 weeks, let me back up. 5 weeks, we met on Thursdays for a couple of hours. And the wealth of financial information I got during that time from these professionals has increased my credit score in 5 weeks. So I wanted to build the budgeting was the nuts and bolts, sitting down, crunching numbers, like most of us already know. But this is what made the difference as far as the budgeting was concerned for me, is that the definition that was affixed to budgeting is you are directing your money where to go. I never saw budgeting that way. It was just this, exercise I was going through, and nobody gave me a simple definition like that that made so much sense. Now, I'm literally directing my money. And the budgeting is the first part. The second part is the following. I'm following through now. Then we go on to Banking. We dealt with banking basics. There were 6 elements to it, and I'm going to tell you about 4. You have to attend the class to get the other 2. We dealt with value, the value that the bank brings to you, the relationship that they offer you. We talked about customer service, and we all know about that. We want the best customer service we can get. Another thing was location. Some people need a bank that's close and easily accessible. Others need it far away so they don't tap into that money as often as they often do. And so there's 2 more elements and far more detail. And I encourage those of you who need the information, please attend the course. You'll learn far more than you think. Debt elimination was the part that I would say I needed most. And I tell you, we had 2 instructors that came in and knocked it out of the park as far as I was concerned. They gave me information that I could use immediately. I mean, the next day I made phone calls and put things in place the next day because of the information that they gave me. It was just phenomenal. And then the 4th piece was the financial education. They encouraged us to find financial gurus, the Susie Ormans, the Patrice Washington, who used to work here. She has a book that she's promoting. Phenomenal individual with good information. Again, we have individuals here, but the one that we fell in love with is David Ramsey. We listened to his DVDs, and I mean, he said some strange things sometimes. You know what he said? You ought to be a weirdo. Now, who wants to be a weirdo? But when you understand what he meant, again, definitions are extremely important when you understand what it means. Most people are in debt. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care where you work. Most of us don't follow the budget if we have one, and we have a tendency to buy things compulsively. And he said, and that's why most people are in debt. However, to be a weirdo means you're not in debt. That's weird for quite a few people. And so our goal is to become a weirdo based on that definition. And so with these 4 elements that have been taught to me in 5 short weeks, my credit score has already begun to climb. And I'm excited about that because I'm looking forward to opening up a business in 12 to 16 months. And I say looking forward to it because I have to follow the plan. If I follow the plan, this will definitely take place. And I will be like my sister over there, the 8th grader. And I too will start my own business. So I encourage you from the standpoint if you need the information or if you're going to support an awesome organization that is not only going to help locally,